Hello and welcome into End on a Make, where tonight I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I have been a Lakers fan for pretty much my entire life. I grew up watching them, that's how I got into basketball. So it's hard to be subjective, but I do try really hard to not be the type of Lakers fan who's like, oh man, the sky is falling, the team is terrible, we're doomed, we're done for after every loss. I remember growing up with a lot of friends that were fans, and every game seemed like it was life or death. And since then, over the years, I've tried to just take like a bigger picture type of approach to it. But that being said, I'm a little concerned about this team heading into these last 10 or so games of the regular season. I know there's been a ton of injuries. We're just getting back LeBron James, who missed the longest stretch of games in his career with that high ankle sprain. This was his second game back. The Lakers took on the Raptors in LA, and the Raptors absolutely smacked them, absolutely handled them, basically from start to finish. The Lakers had a 12-point lead at one point before halftime, and then went into halftime trailing by 13, and they cut it a little close near the end, like in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. They kind of started to put a run together, but it was too late. The Raptors scored 72 in the first half. The Lakers just stayed pretty much out of rhythm of the whole game. LeBron leaves with 40 seconds left with what seems to be an aggravated injury to the same ankle that caused him to miss all that time. And, if you look on Lakers Twitter, the sky is falling, basically, because this is not what you want right before the play-in tournament starts. So the Lakers now, with this loss, are sitting in a three-way tie for the sixth seed with Dallas and Portland. And both of those teams won. So it could be, really quick. It could happen really quick that the Lakers find themselves now in like a play-in tournament type of scenario. And I know that in a single game play, okay, we have one game to win to move on. I feel pretty good with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. It's kind of hard to bet against them, but crazier things have happened. And there's a chance that they could be matched up round one, or not round one, playing with, the Warriors or the Kings, who always, for whatever reason, seem to play the Lakers tight. And, it could be, you could just be watching something fluky happen. Say Anthony Davis has an off shooting night. Say LeBron does more facilitating than he does taking over and scoring. The point is, you don't want to put yourself in that position where one game is make or break for the whole season, for the whole run. And I know part of that has been, all of these injuries. Like for tonight even, Dennis Schroeder didn't play. He was a late scratch because of the health and safety protocol. So, remains to be seen how long he'll be out. Alex Caruso got the start, but only played 26 minutes because he's been dealing with lingering issues as well. And it's just, they're a banged up team right now. Their center rotation is a bit out of sorts with Montrez, Andre Drummond, and Marc Gasol. And it seems like Montrez and Gasol are the two that keep getting swapped for one another. So that's creating some mix-ups and a lack of chemistry. But the real thing that has me so concerned here is the team defense, because this whole year, the Lakers have been a top defensive team, and they stayed that even without Anthony Davis and LeBron. They stayed a top defensive team. That's why they were able to win some of those games that they won. They were able to, clamp down on teams and get those turnovers, get those fast break points. That kind of became their whole identity. It was we're going to just wear you down as hard as we can and hope that, at the end of the day, we can match shots with you. And I don't know if it's Anthony Davis and Braun coming back makes it they feel the rest of the team can lax up. Okay, they're here to pick up the slack now again. But that type of mentality is rough. So for tonight in particular, they play the Raptors, who do not have Gary Trent, Fred VanVleet, or OG Anunoby. And the team still goes for 72 in the first half and 110 in the game. And the thing about it is there were only 4 Raptors that scored in double digits. Now, DeAndre Bembry had 10. Freddie Gillespie had 11. And then really what lost us the game was no one could guard Kyle Lowry or Pascal Siakam. Lowry goes for 37 and 11 assists. Siakam goes for 39 and 13 rebounds, and they were just unstoppable. And I don't know why, someone pointed it out on Twitter, and I agree. It feels like every time a team plays the Lakers, we have to hear about someone's new career high or someone's new team high, and it's come against the Lakers. Like we always get these career best efforts from our opponents. And tonight there was just no answer for it. And for all that he does defensively, and Anthony Davis has been a huge relief defensively since coming back, he's not shooting well. He's not shooting efficiently. And I know part of it is probably rust from all of the time that he's missed, but 33, 34, 35 minutes and he's hitting 5 of 18. That's the type of stuff that's gonna just stick them in a deeper hole. And when you have those role players and the two stars aren't quite right, the role players don't get the open looks, so then they're missing everything, and you get Wes Matthews and Ben McLemore and those shooter types, KCP, having to try to play outside their means and do a lot more. So, these spot-up shooters are now having to be more playmakers, and that's something that you lose without playing Gasol, because he's a big who can, just make the right play. He's so smart. He knows what to do most of the time. But it's just kind of a jumble right now. And I know COVID has a part of it, and I'm sure that, the short turnaround time is a part of it too, but it just seems to be like a lack of cohesion that a championship team heading into the stretch run of the season shouldn't be having. And I don't know if that's on the coach. I don't know if it's on all the restrictions and everything that's been implemented, but it's something that, I'm really watching closely as far as the stretch run of games go. Because I know, with veterans, like, especially with like LeBron, like if this little ankle turn or whatever it comes out being that happened tonight, if this ends up taking him out for the next week and he misses half of the last regular season game, like that's a big loss, because that's still, this is a team that isn't playing well right now. They have chemistry issues. They need to get that sorted out. So if anyone misses more time, it's going to throw everything off. And I think the Lakers, the thought is, oh, well, we won last year. We have the short turnaround. Well, just get us to the playoffs and we'll be fine. And I think with a format like the play-in, that's just a dangerous way of thinking. Because, a team like the Warriors can catch you on a night, or, say you have to play the Grizzlies and you get a crazy Dillon Brooks game and Jaren Jackson's back now too. There's so many potential spoilers. There's so much room for error with this play-in tournament. It's 2 games and you could be out before the playoffs even get started. And it's easy to say, oh, well, when AD and Bron are back and the team's healthy again, we know what they're capable of. But, like, you got to make sure you're doing it too, though, because turning it on and off is a dangerous thing. We always hear the analysts say that. And it's just, I don't want to hit full-fledged like panic or anything, because at the end of the day, we still have LeBron and AD, still 2 top 5 to 7 players. I don't know if people would want to debate that. I will say 2 top 5 players. So they're going to solve a lot of problems and cover a lot of issues. The issue is when they're not able to do that, where's the team going to go? So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens down this stretch. Hopefully they can avoid the play-in, but even then, those lower seeds, the matchups in the series just get harder. Depending on how everything shakes out, we could be looking at a road to the playoffs, to the finals that could be, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Clippers, the Jazz, the Suns, like the Clippers, it could be just a murderer's row of tough series where you don't get like the benefit of playing those lower seeded teams. So I don't know. That's what I think about it. Lakers fans, please let me know in the comments what you think. If you think there's something Vogel should do, if you think that, it's just a lot of worrying about nothing, or what your expectations are for the team, please let me know in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and I will be back soon.